Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're heading into some really fascinating territory. We're exploring this bizarre intersection between quantum mechanics, super weird, spooky science, and, well, your biology. Specifically, how that quantum strangeness might actually be messing with your DNA, our mission. To unpack how subatomic weirdness could be triggering mutations in our genetic code, we'll be drawing from a big think piece and some really cutting-edge research out of the University of Surrey. Think about it. What if those quantum rules, the ones we usually link to, I don't know, particle labs or distant galaxies, are actually active inside your body right now? Okay, first off, let's just admit quantum mechanics is inherently strange. I mean, even Einstein wasn't a fan, right? Called it spook action at a distance. And for ages, the scientific thinking was, look, biological systems, they're too warm, too wet, just too messy for those delicate quantum effects to really play a role. The idea was all that biological noise, the heat and chaos, would just drown out any quantum stuff. But what if that was wrong? What if we just weren't, looking in the right way?
Exactly. And that's precisely where this field, quantum biology, steps in. It's really gaining momentum now. It's this mix of disciplines, nuclear physicists, biochemists, molecular biologists all coming together. It actually started way back, maybe the 1920s. Its whole point is to ask, does that subatomic quantum world actually influence living cells? And the big shift now is, well, yes. As physicists get better tools to sort of poke around in the complex world of biology, they are finding quantum mechanics at work, even remarkably within our DNA.
Okay, so let's quickly picture DNA, that famous double helix, right? Two strands twisting around, the bits in the middle, the T, A, G, C. They connect like puzzle pieces.
Right, the base pairs. T always with A, G always with C, that's the code.
And those connections rely on these weak attractions, involving hydrogen atoms, just a single proton and electron each. Now, point mutations. That's when there's a mistake, right? Like a typo. A G pairs with a T instead of a C.
Exactly, a mismatch.
And those mistakes, if they build up, can cause real problems, maybe lead to cancer, other genetic issues.
That's the concern, yes. Accumulation is key.
We usually blame things like errors when DNA copies itself or, X-rays, UV light, stuff that physically jolts things out of place.
Right, things that add energy and cause disruptions.
But could there be something quieter, more subtle, something quantum happening? Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. For, gosh, maybe 50 years, researchers have debated this idea. Could protons, just switching places between those weakly connected DNA strands, cause these point mutations? For a long time, the answer seemed to be probably not. A lot of studies suggested that the in-between states you get when a proton moves these temporary shapes were just too unstable, too short-lived to get copied when the DNA replicates.
They just switch back too quickly.
That was the thinking, yeah. But then came this new theoretical study, first in communications physics, and then the University of Surrey team built on it in chemical physics.
Yeah.
They used sophisticated models. They simulated this proton transfer, specifically in the GC pair, within what they called an infinite sea of spring-like vibrating particles.
Which sounds complicated, but basically means the noisy, warm environment inside a cell.
Precisely. They tried to make it realistic.
Okay, so what did their realistic models show that the old ones missed? Here's where it gets really interesting.
It showed something called proton tunneling.
Tunneling, like digging through a barrier.
Sort of, but quantum style. Imagine a proton needs to get from A to B, but there's an energy hill in the way it classically couldn't climb. In quantum mechanics, it doesn't have to climb. It can just vanish from one side.
And reappear on the other. Instantly.
Effectively, yes. It tunnels through the barrier. It's a purely quantum effect.
Whoa. Okay. And this happens in DNA.
Their models strongly suggest yes, and it's incredibly fast.
How fast are we talking?
For those GC connections, we're talking a few hundred femtoseconds.
Okay, that sounds tiny.
It is. It's S.0000s, 15 zeros. 1 second, a quadrillionth of a second. It's way, way faster than any normal biological timescale.
So this proton tunneling, this switching, is happening constantly, like flickering.
Yeah, the source used a great analogy. It's like an image flashing on a screen so fast it looks still to us. To the DNA, it's as if some protons are always kind of visiting their neighbors.
Okay, so it's not rare, it's constant. And this rapid switching creates these slightly different shapes, the intermediate forms.
Exactly. The technical term is tautomers. The base pair briefly takes on a slightly different configuration.
And that's the moment where, if the DNA strands separate to copy themselves,
a mismatch can occur. The wrong base gets paired up because the shape is temporarily altered.
Mind blown. And here's the twist I find amazing. the warmth of our bodies, which we thought would stop quantum effects.
It actually seems to help it. It acts like a bit of thermal activation, giving the protons a little energetic nudge, making the quantum tunneling even more likely.
How much more likely?
Their models suggest it makes proton transfer via tunneling about 4 times more likely than classical physics would predict.
Wow. So it's happening fast, it's happening often, helped by body heat. And crucially, these weird shapes stick around long enough.
That's the key finding. They aren't just fleeting blips. They seem to be long-lived enough that they should be caught during DNA replication.
Meaning they should cause a mutation.
Yes, that's the direct implication.
Are there caveats?
Yeah.
Limits to this research right now?
Oh, definitely. For one, this study focused on the GC base pair. The AT pair has a much more unstable intermediate state, so they haven't modeled that yet. That's the next step.
Right.
And importantly, this is theoretical modeling, brilliant modeling, but it needs experimental confirmation. We need ways to actually observe this happening in real DNA.
Sure, makes sense. Theory needs proof.
But the researchers are clearly excited. Dr. Marco Sacchi from Surrey stated, "Our study confirms that quantum tunneling also happens in DNA at room temperature." And Louis Slocum, a PhD student on the project, added that quantum mechanics are at play, and they plan to investigate how these tautomers, these altered shapes, can propagate and generate genetic mutations.
So what does this all mean? If this is right, if quantum tunneling is constantly nudging our DNA towards mutation, what are the big picture implications for us, for our health?
Well, potentially huge. If quantum effects are a fundamental source of mutation, it could really change how we understand things like cancer or inherited genetic diseases, how these problems might arise from the very subatomic fabric of our biology.
But wait, if this tunneling is happening so often and it's 4 times more likely than we thought, shouldn't we be riddled with mutations? Why aren't things much worse?
That's the quantum of solace, as the article cleverly put it. You're right. Based only on the tunneling rate, we should see far more mutations than we actually do.
So something's fixing it.
Exactly. Our bodies have incredibly highly efficient DNA repair mechanisms, like molecular maintenance crews. Our DNA copying machinery itself has a built-in proofreading function. It checks for errors as it goes, detects mismatches, sort of like a spell checker finding a typo, and corrects most of them.
Phew. Okay, so we have quantum weirdness causing potential problems, but also amazing biological systems cleaning up the mess.
It's a constant dance. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the researchers even suggest this whole mechanism, the ease of tunneling, the stability of these altered states might be relevant to how life even got started.
So.
Because the speed of early evolution likely depended on the mutation rate in early genetic material, probably single-stranded RNA back then. If quantum tunneling provided a frequent source of variation, well, it could have played a role.
So quantum effects might have helped kickstart life.
It's a possibility they raise. It leads to this fascinating duality. The quantum world might have helped give us life through mutation and evolution, but it might also be involved in taking it away through diseases linked to those same mutations.
It really does feel like a frontier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jim Al-Khalili, who is also involved in this research, he called quantum biology the most exciting field of scientific research in the 21st century. That's quite a statement.
It is bold, but you can see why. The potential connections are profound.
It underscores that we're really just scratching the surface here, understanding how these fundamental physical laws interact with complex life.
Absolutely. And it really does leave you wondering, doesn't it? This raises an important question. If proton tunneling is happening in our DNA, what other subtle, maybe even spooky quantum effects might be shaping our biology? Things we haven't even thought to look for yet. Could understanding these quantum underpinnings eventually revolutionize medicine? Or give us a completely new perspective on evolution itself? There's still so much potentially hidden in the quantum realm of life.
What a mind-bending place to end. An incredible journey today into quantum biology. Thank you, as always, for joining us on this deep dive. It's a perfect example of how science that seems incredibly abstract can actually be deeply, deeply personal. And that's what we aim for here, helping you get those aha moments, connecting the dots quickly but thoroughly, making you rethink the world. We look forward to exploring another fascinating topic with you next time.